Hi guys! So welcome back to my channel, and for today's video, I'm gonna be talking about PGWP, or what we call the post-graduation work permit. So as though you know, I already completed my program. I am just waiting for the convocation ceremony around June, and yeah, we already applied for PGWP. So we're gonna be sharing with you what is PGWP, the eligibilities and the special cases that needs to be considered when you are applying for PGWP, and of course the requirements, which is very important, especially to those who have their dependents with them, and also how did we apply for post-graduation work permit. So the first thing is about what is PGWP. So being an international student, after completing our program, we can legally work here in Canada. So the government of Canada is giving us an open work permit after we completed our program. And this PGWP is given only once in a lifetime. So you have to take it seriously when you are applying for post-graduation work permit, because you can only get this once. Of course, to be given the post-graduation work permit after completing your program, you need to pass the eligibility criteria given by the Government of Canada in order to be qualified for the post-graduation work permit. So I have my notes here that I will be sharing with you on the eligibilities that I needed in order to get the PGWP after your school. So the first one is you must have a valid study permit or a valid status here in Canada. And the next one, of course, you need to complete your degree, either diploma or certificate. And then the next one is, which is very important, is you need to graduate from a DLI or designated learning institution, meaning you completed your program from a public post-secondary school. This is very important because some of the students are not checking if their school is part of the DLI, so you can just check it online. Of course, if you graduate from private post-secondary school, you will not be eligible for a PGWP. And the next one is maintain the full-time status each academic year except for the last term. So this is also very important, that you are remaining a full-time status or a full-time course load during your academic terms. Meaning, in our school, 3 subjects to 5 is considered a full-time student. And the last one is less than 180 days processing after receiving the graduation documents. So let's jump into the special cases which can be considered when applying for PGWP. So the first one is you completed your online courses outside Canada. This is during the time of pandemic. So online courses are allowed during the time of pandemic because of course we cannot go to school that time. And then as we know, we are required to take at least 50% of your classes to be taken in class. So the next one is the took authorized leave less than 150 days. Of course, when you're in Canada, you can leave the country or you have vacations or emergencies or anything. As long as it's less than 150 days and you have proofs and you have documentations that can support and you are allowed to have that leave, you can apply for PGWP as long as you don't violate the conditions of your permit. And we are so fast, and now we are jumping into the requirements. So for the requirements, I have a video that I have a voiceover, and this is it. So after logging into your GCK account and completing your eligibility checklist, these are the requirements. The first one for the main applicant is the application form, which is IMM 5710 for the student. And for the supporting documents, you require transcript, completion of letter studies, passport, and then family member representative form, and then the marriage license and the digital photo. For the optional documents, we added my certificate of employment and payslip under the client information. And for the family member, since I only have one family member, which is my husband, he needs to submit the application form, IMM 5710. Just complete this form, and then the supporting document is just passport. And for the optional documents, just add something which will be beneficial or will add up to your application. And of course, for the next one, we need to pay for our application. The work permit is $155. The open work permit holder fee is $200, and the work permit is $155 Canadian dollars. So a total of $510. So these really cost a lot, so we need to be very sure of our application so that we don't waste the money. So please make sure that you upload the correct documents. So just a little background, that our last final exam is last April 26th, and after a few days I needed to wait for my final grades to be up in our student portal. And then after that, we need to wait for the conferral date. So the conferral date is May 26th of 2023. So we stopped working May 25, 2023. So May 26th, we are considered and declared graduate already. And then after a few days, like May 28th, after 2 days, they gave us the PGWP letter and the transcript document, which will be emailed by the school for us to download, and we need to pay like around $12 to $15 per document. And that is one of the important requirements that we need in our PGWP application. So after receiving the documents, you can start applying for PGWP. It's up to you if you want to rest for a week, for 2 weeks, or a month. It's up to you, but as long as you can process your application in less than 180 days, that would be fine. But you can process it right away so that you can go back to work afterwards. So you don't need to, one more thing, you don't need to wait for the approval of your PGWP to resume working. As long as you submitted your PGWP application, you can go back to work because you're already on applied status. And then for us, after applying for the PGWP, we received like a confirmation of submission in our GCK account. And then after a few days, it takes a few days for the work permit extension. Like there is a letter that you can present to your employer if they are looking for your permit that you are legally allowed to work here in Canada. So yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys, and I hope you learned something from this. And if you have questions, please feel free to comment or message me, and I appreciate you guys for watching and for asking questions and for saying that my videos are helpful to you. So yeah, that's it for today's video, and I hope we see you again on the next video. Maybe that's my graduation day. Bye bye, see you guys. God bless. Enjoy the summer.